Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky. Good morning. I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky. We are talking to Jason, who is in Austin today.
Austin, Texas.
What do you know?
I know, I feel so far away.
We miss you. It is so surprising how different the house is without you.
It's so surprising how distant I feel from home.
Do you want to know what the biggest, so for you, what have the differences been?
So I miss you. You don't, first of all, let me just preface this by saying you don't smell bad.
Oh no, you miss my smell.
I miss your smell. I miss your touch. I miss like hearing you around, like just being close to me. Like I miss your presence, like your energy. And who would have thought that I miss Tater so much, our dog? Like have it, like just even the responsibility of taking her out. Like she wants to go out at sometimes the most inopportune times when I'm so tired. Like, and she is so particular about having fresh water. She can have a full bowl of water, but she wants fresh. Like she's like, that water is.
It has to be to the top.
To the top. She's like, I've already drank out of that bowl and it sat there overnight. I would like fresh water and pour that out and wipe the bowl out. But I miss my family. Like it's been a wonderful trip. It was an exhausting, like 15-hour days with Tony. But it was also uplifting. So there's that dichotomy of uplifting, but exhausting.
Yes.
So and then coming down for the drive over to Austin. Then also, so I stopped on the way, got a haircut. Or just
nice. Your ears
tightened up
a little lower.
Yeah, and just tightened up the goatee a little bit for Super Coach.
Yeah, it looks great. You
coming into Super Coach, I was looking at the roster of people coming, and it's so funny because
okay, whoa. Before you go there, go. So first of all, I want to tell you what's different about our lives because you told us what's different about yours. So what we've noticed is we do not have to do the dishes nearly as often.
Oh no.
I know.
I'm a dish magnet.
It's so crazy. But when you're home, we do dishes. We do at least one load a day of dishes.
Yeah.
You notice that?
I cook a lot.
Yes, but we run that dishwasher and we run the laundry. Yeah. I do a load of laundry, at least one load a day when you're home.
Yeah. So are you eating?
When you're not home, I haven't been doing nearly as much laundry. In fact, I think every time I talk to you, I'm wearing the same shirt.
But are you eating at least?
I am eating. I am eating, but I eat and then I just make stuff for me and then I put it away and
you probably wash your dishes. Like you probably just wash it in the sink and then because you like use one plate, one fork, one knife,
and just then the same thing.
And it's cereal.
And then so those are two things that I have noticed that have been a significant difference since you've been gone. The other thing is, oh gosh, I still vacuum as much though. That has not changed. Like, things are still as we get these dust bunnies in the house and that has not changed at all. But the trash is the third thing. I have only had to take out the trash twice since you've been gone, and you've been gone for how many days?
7 days, 8 days.
8 days. And I've only had to take out the trash twice.
So you're making me kind of feel like life would be easier if I was gone.
Well, it's so weird how things have slowed down dramatically dramatically, almost to a halt.
Oh no.
However, that being said, there's energy when you're here.
Oh good.
So it's kind of like, spending money. You can stop spending money, but then there's not that money flow
Not
going
the
through
energy.
you.
Yeah, it's like an
Yeah.
energy.
So it's I don't know. It's like you conserve energy by not going as much. However, I'm not going as much. I don't know. It's very
Yeah,
odd.
well, so and I love what you said there because it's almost like if you put a battery in a drawer for 3 years, you can't pull it out and expect it to work. Like,
Yeah,
and a battery is energy, and money is energy, and so having like I think we are obviously better together.
definitely.
So,
No, life is definitely better when you're home. I just want to make that very, very clear. And you
well,
are so missed.
you rock my world and make life worth living. I said it
Oh,
once, I
that's how he
said it
proposed to
before.
me. That's how
The
he proposed to me.
and I love you more. It even says it on the inside of my ring.
That's
So,
because I engraved it in on the inside of his ring. And when we were at the altar and we exchanged rings, I was like, "Look at the inside of your ring.
um,
I engraved it in yours." But now he uses it against me. He's like, "It's on the inside of my ring, not yours."
I've been
That's
wearing this
because I
ring,
put it there. I put it
right,
there.
but it's sunk into me.
Oh gosh.
Look
We're
what
making
you've done.
everyone sick that's listening to this. Everyone is like, "Oh, stop. Stop, you guys."
So, but it,
However, so just so everyone that's listening knows, we don't really have a topic today. We are just shooting the bull and we are learning about why Jason is in Austin. And for those of you that don't know, Jason works for a company called Mindvalley. So give us the skinny.
yeah, so I'm contracted with Mindvalley as one of their executive coaches, and we're here for a super coach event. So this is where coaches from all over the world come in, and it's a 3 4 day immersion of becoming a powerful coach, a super coach.
And
And
Jason coaches the coaches on how to be coaches. Did
yeah,
I just say coaches 3 times?
yeah, who's on first?
Okay.
So, and it's funny because in the coaching certifications, a lot of the times I look and the roster's built up of really it looks like a lot of women. Now I have
You
seen more.
attract women. You have this energy that you attract a lot of women, I think.
Well, and I do see a lot of women in the coaching certifications.
Uh-huh.
Even back in the other certifications, it seemed like a lot of women are going for that
Are
coaching.
drawn to this because we like to work on ourselves.
Yeah.
We're the first ones that step up and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm not happy with my life. How can I change?
Yes.
How can I get better?"
How can I work on myself? Where guys tend
And
to
in
fix
fact,
the world around them.
yes, that is so true. And if you remember, Jason, I mean, when you and I started this whole thing, yes, you started reading books. Don't get me wrong. You started reading
I would go to conferences
knowledge.
and read books, but I would still try to change the world around me. Where you were
Yes.
working on yourself, and then I was like, she's figuring stuff out, and I'm still spending all this energy trying to fix shit,
Yeah. Where I
and it's
was like,
wearing
okay,
me out.
wait a minute. I'm going to start working on the internal stuff. And then that's when it became contagious for you. And I will say that we both have just, it's almost like we have turned ourselves inside out. It's like taking a sock, like a sock comes out of the dryer and you're like, oh my gosh, it's inside out. And then you pair them together and when you fold them, you kind of like turn them inside out,
Yep.
right? And that's what we've done with our lives. It's like we've turned them inside out. And when you do that, you get rid of all the lint and all the everything that's inside, all the gunk, all those emotions that you've been storing. And it's a totally different way of
And you see what the
seeing the
sock's really
world,
made of.
right? Yeah, you do. You do.
and you
It's
get back
very,
to the good stuff again, like the real stuff. That's not the stuff that you kind of packed in there on your own.
yeah. It's been so transformative. I
That
will
was
say
the
that.
exact word that was in my head, transformative. It was almost like it was there for us together.
It has been so transformative. However, I honestly do not know because we have met so many people now where one partner starts to go through this process, and once you start, it is very addictive because you start seeing, you start peeling the layers, and then you're like, oh, I want to go deeper, and I want to go deeper, and I just want to keep peeling because it feels so good to lift this weight and to just get lighter. But I do not understand how one partner can start to change and start to go through this journey, and how the other partner can stay the same. I just don't understand how
So
that could possibly happen.
so it's a growth process. And there's so many of the masters that talk about that once your mind is expanded, it can't go back.
You
Like
can't go
it
back.
doesn't go back. And as one person's growing, and so you can understand, like, um mentally and cerebrally, what needs to happen. Like, we can know things but not embody them, like not apply them. Because you say it all the time, like, we know how to be rich, we know how to be healthy, we know how to have a great relationship, and we don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because we're not doing the inner work. We're not applying it, we're not immersing ourselves in it. And when we start getting on this path of really personal growth and personal development, and not trying to fix the outside world, when we get on that inner path and start working on ourselves, then we grow into who we're supposed to be, and we grow into, like, this more open mind instead of the closed mind that kind of the world creates on us, because we start limiting ourselves, and we start saying, I can't do this, I'm not enough for that, and I'm not, like, this is impossible, and this isn't, I can't do this. And we start getting these negative connotations about us. But the internal growth says, you know what, I'm built for greatness and a purpose, and anything's possible that I want. And when one person's not doing it and the other person is, just like you said, what, 6 7 years ago, we started growing apart.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me that, and it broke my heart, and I was like, don't worry, I'll fix it.
You did.
And I was getting super frustrated because I was like, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what you mean that we're growing apart, because I'm doing everything I can. And then when I started working on myself, that's when you said, now I see the change.
Yeah.
Now I see it. And then it clicked, and I was like, oh, wow. I was so exhausted trying to fix everything out there. When I spent half that energy fixing me, then we started just kind of zooming back together.
We did. We
And it was
did.
so cool.
And I mean, it's an ever growing process,
Yeah. I mean,
but it's so much better when you decide to do it together.
yeah, now it's kind of like we're climbing the ladder, right? So it's like, well, I mean, we still, like, we have those moments where it's like, okay, wait for me, Jana.
I know. Or wait for
Like,
me, Jason.
yeah.
Jason, I
So,
don't know. You're in some realm that I haven't experienced yet. Well, one thing though that I want to tap back to before we sign off is you did say that in the majority of your classes that you teach,
oh
it's
yeah,
mostly women, you said.
yeah.
However, here
You,
in Austin at this conference that you are facilitating,
yeah,
it's called Super Coach.
you put super in front of it, and then now I'm looking at, like, the Telegram group. I'm looking at the roster, and it's like 50% men. And I was like,
Isn't that
that's
so funny?
interesting. Like you put,
Yeah.
and immediately I think ego. Like, and I can't wait to ask when we actually get into it. Like, okay, so let's see why, or if, and even if it's an appropriate question to ask when we get into it, because maybe it's just people who were available and wanted to be into it, but and I can't
Or
ask the
people who
people
had the
here.
means to travel, or people
Yeah,
who believed in themselves enough to say, I deserve to go to that conference. You know,
or maybe the women.
there's so many complexities that go into it. However, I do feel like it is a question that may need to be asked.
and
It
it,
is
and
an
it could be
observation.
and it could be that the women that have gone through the program already believe that they are super coaches and don't need to go to a super coach experience. But I'm like, I believe that you can't pass up being a better coach at any time. So if you have the opportunity to be in a super coach experience, you need to be in that super coach experience if it's an immersion capacity, especially with a coach like a JIT or in a Mindvalley type platform. So it's a
You mean, especially with a coach like Jason.
that's right. That's right. So it's I'm looking forward
Awesome.
to seeing how it goes.
Awesome. Well, it's great to see you, and we miss you.
I
However,
miss you,
I'm
Katie.
glad that the people at Supercoach get to experience everything that you have to offer.
Me too.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you in a couple days.
All right, keep living
Start
lucky.
living lucky. Bye-bye. If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.